Wow, I didn't even think about the fact that their standard drinks are fucking crazy.
Don't read it. You have to wait for me to say it.
Just how am I meant to not read it if it's on the document?
Don't read it. Focus on me.
Look over here, not over there.
Yeah.
This is really hot.
Get it while it's hot.
So hot right now.
I'm Caitlin McPhail.
And I'm Holly Brockelman.
And this is Hot to Me, a podcast covering pop culture, dating, fashion, beauty, and anything else that we deem hot. Coming to you live pre-ass crack of dawn from my work office. Not my specific office, but a office.
Somehow you've outdone me and have managed to found an even blander background than in the first episode.
Yeah, do you like
it's
what I've
truly
done?
Like she's in a fucking jail cell, but all good. All good.
Yeah, and having like the ring light on me is really giving like interrogation.
It is. Immaculate lighting though. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, and that's on me for being too stupid to remember to connect the internet in time after you left. So here we are using the gorgeous work internet.
Yeah, and that's courtesy of the gorgeous ADHD.
Such a treat for me and for all.
It is.
Yeah, we're really feeling the time difference.
We are. Should we go into the bulletins?
Yes,
you can
let's get into it.
You can kick off.
Oh, I can kick off. Okay.
You
can. All right. Mine always come from the Australian Bureau, and this week it is the Australian Bureau of Touching Grass. I have had a pretty grim run lately in both my personal life and like mental health wise. But I recently remembered that like going outside and walking around and touching grass and like going for swimmies in the ocean does actually fix things like quite a lot.
It's crazy how we forget that. And then you go for one swim and you're like, whoa.
I think I messaged you after and I was like, damn, that did a lot for me. And you were like, and it always does.
Yeah, I was like, crazy how it works every single time you go for a swim.
A 100% hit rate of going for a swim.
Yeah, she's a Pisces.
Yeah, no. So we just had the long weekend and went out to Manly and did the Manly to Spit.
Very nice.
I had not done the second half of that. It's very outdoorsy in the second half. Like,
I've never done that walk ever.
Really?
Yeah, now I've left the country, so I never will.
Yeah, now you never will. Well, I can tell you it's pretty nice.
Right. And who did you do it with? Give us some more info, please.
I did it with my friend Sarah and her boyfriend Cam, and he packed us sandwiches, which was so nice. Yeah, he's like, I've got snacks for everyone. It's like
friends of the pod, Sarah and Cam. Shout out to you and the sandwiches.
Yes. So I did the hike. I did some beach patrols. I did some lap swimming yesterday, and I was like, damn, the outside. The weather's nice, the sunshine, and I was like, I will feel better if it's the last thing I do. So we're in our touching grass era at the moment, really getting the hours in outside.
Yeah, she's photosynthesizing, and you guys won't know what hits you when she's reborn.
Yeah, no, I think I am 50% chlorophyll at this juncture.
You are.
Photosynthesis is essential. I realized how much time I was spending inside, and I was like, wow, no wonder I'm depressed.
But God, she's coming back, and it's going to be one hell of a rebound. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's over for bitches everywhere.
It is.
It is. So that's the Sydney Bureau, the Australian Bureau. What is happening in New York?
All right. So the New York Dispatch, I am currently coming off the back of a truly catastrophic 2-day hangover, the likes of which I haven't experienced in quite some time. And it's also the sort of one that you have that is so like physically and psychologically devastating that it makes you like reevaluate your whole life. Like
you question everything.
I barely got out of bed on Sunday, and I was in like, it hit me physically, it hit me psychologically, it hit me in terms of my sleep. Like it fucked me fucked me sideways. I barely got out of the bed on Sunday. I took myself to the grocery store. That was a fucking struggle. Got
Yeah.
home, was too hung to do anything with the food, but at least I bought it. Um, yeah, it was pretty grim, actually, pretty grim. And then I went for a walk with my friend yesterday because I actually have some of those now, guys. Super exciting. But I went for a walk with
Huge,
my friend
huge.
yesterday around Central Park. We did like a massive loop, which was great. It was like 5 miles or something. And she told me that this US drink standard sizing is different to Australia. How was I meant to know that? How was I meant to know that? So I'm out here having martinis, like lots of them, which will already have no mixes in them. It's just spirits. And I'm like, in Australia, it's 10 grams of ethanol per standard drink. In the US, it's 14. So that's like quite a significant difference.
Yeah, that is
Um,
basically a 50% increase.
it is. Yeah. So I wasn't
That
well. I
and
was not.
they certainly like free pour a little more there. It's
Yeah.
very like
They're
fast
pretty
and
loose.
loose.
They're pretty loose on the standard drink thing. Yeah. Anyway, had a great night. My body didn't, but I had fun at the time. And then I spent like literally 15 hours on my phone on Sunday, like so much time looking at my screen that I was lying in bed when I finally went to sleep. And when I say lying in bed, I was also lying in bed throughout the rest of the day. So this was just when I actually was going to sleep. I felt like my
Yeah.
brain was like rattling around my head, like ricocheting between the walls of my head. And I actually was like, I'm going crazy. I am going crazy.
Yeah, there's something
So
about
that
like
was good.
the hangover doom scroll that just like you're like, I need to never go on my phone again because what the fuck, guys? Like, I'm not
It was so
okay.
bad. And
Yeah,
I was looking at my screen time at the end of the day, which don't do that, guys. If you
I never
want to
look.
feel good about yourself after
No.
like a hungover day. I picked up my phone 210 times in on the Sunday. That was how many pickups I had. And I spent literally 15 hours and a half on my phone. My whole waking time on my phone, except for 3 hours or 2 or 3 hours where I had a nap. So that was good. And that was also because I was dealing with obviously the hangover, some existential dread that just is upon you when you move overseas, and also some messages from a man, which is one way to make you so crazy when you're in bed for a whole day.
So
Anyway, that's
crazy.
me. That's me. But boy, have I bounced back now, feeling pretty good, feeling delighted by the fact that I had friends to go out with. Um, Feeling
Hmm.
blessed. I have social things to do this week as well. So going along swimmingly, actually.
Yeah, huge from the New York Dispatch
Yeah, actually,
today.
huge leaps and bounds, guys. Though I will say, um, on one day last week, I went to a house party. Great. I'm standing in the kitchen, and who am I with? None other than a bunch of people who are friends with my ex-boyfriend in a kitchen, in a kitchen in New York. I was like,
That is a hateful experience.
they were lovely, and we didn't know each
No,
other
no,
well.
but
It was like, but
that
still, I
concept
was like,
is hateful.
I know it was really weird, and people kept being like, "Oh, how do you know each other?" And I was like, "Oh, it's amazing to have to explain this 50 times, but it's crazy." So that's why they say never burn bridges, because really you can move to the other side of the world and you'll still end up with people who you knew 7 years ago or however fucking long it was,
Yeah.
in a kitchen in Brooklyn Heights. So that's all you need to know. But leaps
Yeah,
and bounds over here.
the world is far smaller than we
Yeah,
give
it's
it credit
crazy.
for. It's
Really crazy.
fucking wild.
Yeah. All right. Should we hop into our hot to me's for this week? Kato, you can kick it off.
Hot to me, a perfectly curated Instagram dump.
And so beautiful for you to highlight this because it's something that I'm very passionate about. So, yeah,
Yeah.
speak on it. Let's go.
So I posted one yesterday. It had been a while since I did a post to the grid.
Mm,
And I remembered just how satisfying it is and how much I enjoy the process of putting one together. Like
they're
the thing
so
about
good.
an Instagram dump is that it doesn't even have to do numbers. It's just for the
No.
vibes. Like I
And
don't
it's also
care.
it's not for them. It's for you.
It's
And
for
that's why they're
me.
so beautiful. It's for you.
It's for me and my soul. Like, you know,
And for the
and
girls. It's for the girls,
it's
you
for
know?
the girls. It is. Especially if you take my approach to it, which is like the Instagram dump is my beige flags expertise is showing here, but the Instagram dump is like, it's not about being hot.
No,
Hotness,
it's not.
like, it's not about being like hot and like poised and put together and like posed. The
It can
hotness is the
feature
aura.
hotness though. Yeah. But it can feature moments of hot.
For sure, but you can't lead with hot, and the hot
Mm-mm.
has to come from the aura. So I've put some like thoughts together about what my approach was, especially because I just did one. So I was like,
Yeah.
and we were talking to our friend Poppy about this, and she was like asking us questions about how we go about our Instagram profiles, basically. And I was like,
Yeah.
we got something
And
here.
I felt pretty stoked with that actually because yeah, it's talking about running that shit like the Navy. I run my Instagram like the fucking Navy. And
Yeah,
sometimes
your
I'm a little fast and
Instagram.
loose with it, but I'm pretty on it with the Instagram, as everyone who will listen to this will be so aware of.
Yeah. If you know Holly, you know that her Instagram is immaculate, curated, and like it's good stuff.
It's
I
also
will
riddled
say
with Easter eggs.
the
Riddled.
behind the scenes on Holly's Instagram, I want to make a documentary on it because it's fucking wild. There's a lot going
Oh yeah.
on there. There's layers. You can
I'm the
engage in
Taylor
whatever
Swift of
layer you'd like.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely am a lot more fast and loose with it.
I do
Most,
share random shit on it though.
oh
But
no, for sure. But that's like part of the extremely curated vibe.
yeah, I guess I run mine like a business because it is.
As
It's the
as
business
one
of being
should.
me.
It's the business of you. Yeah.
It's the business of me. All right. So kick
So
us off. What is included in a perfect Instagram dump?
So, in my opinion, the perfect Instagram dump includes you have to open. So, the first photo is obviously the one that's going to display on your grid. I think you should be opening with your like second or third best pick
Yeah.
in the dump.
Yeah.
So, it's not your hottest one, but it's like maybe
But
a
it's a
little
close
fun.
second or third.
Yeah, it's like a little silly or it's a little bit left of field. And that keeps your grid interesting and also not just like hot photo, which gets so boring. It
Yeah.
can be a landscape if you like. I like to do like maybe with another person or like my most recent one, I wasn't even looking at the camera, just to mix it up a little bit.
It also featured my personal favorite, which is Caito in a backwards cap. Hot to me.
Bonus
Very
hot to
hot
me. Yeah, I can wear a backwards cap now in my own city without fear of being objectified by Holly.
Okay, you fucking miss it. Don't even start me with that.
I a little bit do. So
Yeah, okay. For comparison, I usually start my dumps with a landscape or a personality shot of some kind.
yeah,
And then I do a really hot pick on the second one, or a just vaguely hotter one on the second one, because the
yeah,
feed, as we know, the next time it comes up on your feed, it will have moved it one photo along. So
yes,
I often do hot pick on the second.
yes.
But the first pick still needs to be strong. It still needs
Yeah.
to be strong.
I
So, for
think calling
example,
it a
my latest
personality
one,
pick is
yes.
perfect.
Yeah,
Like
so my
first one,
recent dump,
personality pick. Yeah,
correct. Mine was a picture of the Empire State Building, gritty,
Yep.
very New Yorky, because that was the
Yep.
vibe. And then the
Yep.
second one was like me on the street. You
Yeah.
know?
First one, regardless of if it's landscape or you're in it, you're setting the tone. So
Exactly.
personality
It's a
pick,
tone set.
and it's a personality pick and also a theme announce.
Yeah.
We
It's
are
a theme
crazy, but
setter.
we are free. So, and then you know how, so you've just said that you do a hotter one second. I
Yeah.
kind of agree with that. I've basically said the hot one, your first like proper hot photo needs to be top 3.
Yeah, completely
Not just
agree.
because it bumps it up the next time it appears in the feed, but also because people are unlikely to swipe through more than like 4. And so you need to hook them in
Oh,
and be like,
you got to hook them in. with the titties,
which is why you
usually.
can't do it in the first one. Okay. In this instance, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you can't put the hot one straight. You can't blow your load too soon with a dump.
Exactly. You're burning the hot one if you put it right up the front.
Yeah, exactly.
And we would never do that.
No, I would never.
Mm-mm.
That's putting it like second or third. And like sprinkling a couple further down as well is like a little reward for the people that keep swiping.
Absolutely.
So
And it's an incentive to keep going.
So you've got your framework.
Who knows what you'll find?
Take this journey with me.
Come on.
So you've got
me, guys. Yeah.
Swipe with me. So you've got your framework then up the top, and then the rest, I feel like, you know what? You've got 20 photos. I'm of the opinion, if you're not posting dumps like every week, fucking use them. It's a vibe,
And
not a...
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I am. Because I always use the full 20 and then I'm like, I'm an editor and I cannot fucking cut my dumps down. But I'm also just like...
There's a reason it's called a dump.
I know. I'm like, I do a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to include.
And a lot of my dumps is like the hits from my stories that kind of come back in, and I'm like, well, I want to include these, but they don't need their own grid post. And it's just like vibes or like places I've been or whatever. Photos that didn't really get their moment, they go in the dump. That's what the dump is for. So I'm going to use all 20 because I take a lot of photos. So I also think, so you've got your hot ones up the top. I think then you sprinkle a few of yourself throughout. But absolutely. I do think no more than 50% of the photos should be you.
I completely agree. And my formula is I always do pick of me or pick of person and then pick of something else. So it always has to be pick of something else between at least one.
Yeah. At least one. I usually do a couple. I also like to throw in a bit of a meme sometimes, or like an image that like sums up the vibe from the internet, which, you know, sometimes there's like memes where you're like, that is so relevant to me. And so in it goes.
And that horse running meme is extremely you coded.
Yeah, my most recent one featured the horse. You will have seen it if you've seen one of my favorite posts, which is 3 coffees, no lunch.
3 coffees, no lunch. My favorite.
And the horse running through the field. I feel like that horse most days. So, and lately, that horse, I am her. So yeah, you've got your good mix, you've got your landscapes, you've got your bits and pieces, you've got your silly little things. The photos of you, I just wanted to highlight the power of the 0.5 in a dump.
Yeah, so important. So important to call that out. So
important. We're huge advocates for the 0.5 selfie on the move from above. Well executed is powerful stuff. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah. And once you give up selfie lens 0.5 and move to back of camera 0.5, that's when your life begins. That's when the second half of your life begins.
Exactly. We were trying to explain this to Poppy yesterday. And she's like, I'm taking notes. I'm going to like use this. But shout out Poppy. The secret is absolutely back camera. And you have to take the time to learn what your arm angle is and what that's going to look like, because you are going in blind, obviously, because it's back camera facing you. And it's hand, so phone. This is an audio medium, but also visual. You've got your phone, your hand's over it. So under the camera, so that you can just hit the trigger with your finger.
Over the front. Or like over, I guess, the back of the phone, but like up. So you can see your fingers. Yeah.
Yes, you can see your fingers and you can see the lenses. That's how you know you're going to get a good angle. And your arm is going to look like a cardboard roll. There's nothing you can do about that. A cardboard tube. It's horrifying to see my forearms in it, but it's all part of the vibe, and only I really notice that. So
I think do it the other way with my hand at the back. But that's just if I'm like, I'm on the move, you know, and I'm holding it and I know, sometimes I do that. I don't know. Sometimes it just goes up like that and it's okay.
And your rate of success will be higher with a 0.5 if you are on the move.
Absolutely. I also think I'm a seasoned pro on the point fives now, so I have a high
Yeah.
strike rate
Yeah.
on the move, and regardless of where hand is. But that comes with practice, guys. You'll learn.
Yeah. It's so important to just like, people are like, how'd you get like, you're so good at these? I've been taking them. I got a
It's
lot.
called vanity. That's what it's
It's
called.
called vanity. And it's also, people talk about influencers taking 1,000 photos to get like 10 good ones. I'm out here. I've been taking 0.5s of groups. I've taken a lot of shit ones. Like,
Yeah,
they're the perfect way to take a group photo too. I stand by a 0.5, and I do think they're an essential element of any dump. So,
I
guys, get out
agree.
there and practice.
I agree.
Maybe
I
we should
will
do a
say
reel. It's a tutorial.
we actually should. And you know who will love that? All my friends from work who forever were asking me to teach them how to take selfies. So yeah, keep an eye on the grid. Maybe we'll put that out there. But I will say that on my new phone, I have the 17 Pro, and that has a feature on the selfie camera that when you put your arm back, especially if you have other people in the frame, it automatically zooms out and goes into landscape mode, which is quite cool. It's obviously not a
Okay.
0.5 and it's in landscape. So if you're not a landscape person, then you're fucked. But it's actually quite good. It gives you really good like depth on that. So explore it, guys. Maybe you'll
Nice.
like it.
Yeah. Like, there's so much you can actually do with an iPhone camera. It's unbelievable. So,
It is.
really start making use of it. Even
Yeah.
small edits. I also think dumps, minimal editing.
Oh yeah, no. But you do have to make sure that your first photo is
Oh, yeah.
first two.
And the hot one's allowed to be edited, obviously, for maximum hotness. But the general vibe is we're on the move, we're out and about, we're dumping it as it is, unless something's obviously egregiously badly lit, but very small edits, if any.
I agree. The dump is about personality, not about hotness. Though the whole
And
thing, of course, has hot energy throughout.
the aura's hot. And at the end of the day, as my friend Eleanor always says, this is your corner of the internet and you can decorate it however you'd like.
I love that. I love that so much because I
Yes.
do get worried about my Instagram presence because I find myself annoying, which is why sometimes, like I did when I first moved here, I ghosted everything for like 10 days.
Yeah.
But she's right. And I love that thing from Elle. And I often remind myself of that after you told me via Elle.
Yeah.
So thanks. Thanks, Elle.
Important to remember for everyone. Your
agree.
Instagram and your online presence is your corner of the internet. You own it. It's yours to decorate how you wish and do with what you will. So if you ever feel embarrassed about posting something, you're decorating your corner.
I agree. Like your bedroom.
Exactly. And my bedroom is full of random shit. So
Yeah. Well, my new girl bedroom is coming along. For anyone who's watching on Spotify, I finally got a piece of art to go on my wall, which you can see behind me, which is really cute.
hell yeah.
I got it for $15 from Housing Works on the Upper West Side. Really good. And then I also got this dresser a week ago today, which I had to get 4 separate men to help me get it from the man's house into my house, including Doug, literally love you, Doug, who helped me carry it out of his house, and then Uber driver Mark, who helped me get it into the Uber and then drove me back here. And then Isaac, my doorman, who helped me get it in. And then my housemate Nils, who helped me get it over the threshold of the house. So shout out to the boys on that one.
It takes a village.
It does, and especially when I don't like carrying heavy stuff. So I did need people to do that.
Yeah, and you know who will help you carry heavy stuff is men when you go, I don't think I can lift it. Holly just opens her fucking enormous doll eyes and they go, let me lift it.
They're like, oh, put those away. My God, speaking of, I keep having flashbacks, Jesus, to Saturday night. I keep having flashbacks of using them for evil or just using them at all and being like, oh.
One thing
It's
about
really
you is if
hard
you
to
have
think about.
like a single sip of alcohol is you're going to be using your eyes to your full advantage. And I think that's fair enough. They're pretty powerful.
It is. Thank you for saying that. Jesus. Hard to think about. Hard to think about. Got to
Hard
move
to think
on.
about. Moving on.
Yeah.
What is your first hot?
hot to me this week is The Pitt on HBO. Caito, have you watched this show?
Not yet, but I have, of course, seen 10,000 hours of content about it because everyone is talking about it, and I definitely do need to watch it.
Well, I actually had not seen 10,000 hours of content about it. In fact, it had barely even scraped my algorithm. I think I saw Jake Shane, Therapos, making posts about it. Love him. Being
We're going to
like,
learn about pop culture through Jake Shane, and that's just a fact.
oh yeah, I love him. And he's posted a few things being like, so we're all aware of the fact that the Pit is like the peak of television. Like no one's doing
Yeah.
it like the Pit. And so I was like, fuck it, I'll check it out. After lying in bed just staring into the abyss for hours on Sunday, I was like, I have got to watch something or I'll go
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I put it on and I am so addicted to it. Like it's actually incredible. And anyone who loves Grey's Anatomy, this I think will fill a similar void because I think I stopped watching Grey's Anatomy about season 16, which was a long haul, guys. I was in for a long time.
That's
And
that's
then
a big effort.
it was. And Meredith had a new boyfriend at that point, and I really liked him. And then he kind of went off the deep end, and I was like, I can't do this again.
You
So
can't
I
keep
tapped
doing this
out.
to me, Meredith.
No, literally, love her though. I got through Derek dying. I couldn't handle the next partner going off the deep
No.
end. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I decided to watch it, and it's like sensational. It's sensational. So it's created by R. Scott Gemmell is his name, and executive produced by John Wells and Noah Weil. And Noah Weil is the star. I didn't know who this was. I think I recognized him, but I didn't know what his name was. But I think he's like very beloved in this industry. He was in ER.
Yeah, and like ER was like the Grey's Anatomy of its time, basically. And he was like, there was the George Clooney kind of era, and then it went into
Mhm.
the Noah Weil era. And if you look at him from when he was in ER, I get it. Even
Yeah,
now,
he
but I
obviously
get it.
loves the medical drama, really loves it.
He's in his
Um,
bag there.
he really is. He's so well suited to it because he has the trusting aura of a doctor, but
He's
he's
so
also like,
trustworthy. Like he seems so trustworthy to me.
he
He's a
seems
sweet
so
man.
trustworthy. And I like that he's like, like he's not typical cookie cutter Hollywood, like he's got a bit of
Yes.
personality in his face, and I really like that.
Yes.
The show has won so many awards. It won last year at the Emmys, Outstanding Drama Series, Lead Actor, and Lead Actress. Did I say
Yeah.
Grammys? I certainly meant Emmys. But yeah, the first season came out last year, and then the season came out in I think January, February this year, and there's a third one on the way. I have almost finished the first season after 2.5 days. It's amazing. But basically, the
Yeah.
premise of the show, if you haven't heard of it, is it's based in the emergency department of this hospital in Pittsburgh, and they call the ER the Pit. They call it that in Grey's Anatomy as well, but it's basically every episode is 1 hour of time. So the whole season is one shift, 15
Yeah.
hours, which is crazy. That's a crazy concept. And it's like,
It's cool though.
it's so cool. And apparently it's been received like extremely high marks from healthcare workers and stuff because it's actually really realistic for what working in an ER is actually like. And that's
Yeah.
because one of their producers is an active ER worker. So they actually know what it's like in there. But there's like the main kind of doctor team and then nurses as well. And it doesn't like follow one person per episode, but it just like, there are constantly new patients coming in. So there are like minor
Yeah.
storylines with each patient, but it moves as the characters move around the ER. And so you get bits
Which
of their different experiences too.
the ER is like the perfect kind of place to do a show like this because you're
Yeah,
always getting like new intake of people. There's always new things happening. There's always something going on.
I agree. And I think unlike Grey's Anatomy, which obviously like explicitly focuses on the sexual romantic relationships that the doctors have between each other.
Yeah.
This, like, it doesn't explicitly touch that, but because you're following these people so closely for a
Yeah.
15-hour shift, you get bits of that, but it's not like the key focus. And somehow it's like better because
I think
it's
I'd like
still
that
just
more
as dramatic. Yeah, I am a
because
sucker for dramatics and I fucking love Grey's Anatomy, but this is like you get really like human insights into people where it's still so dramatic because truly like life is stranger than fiction sometimes, even though this is
Yeah.
obviously fiction, but like those real bits are so juicy.
And
It's
that's the thing about,
amazing.
like, I always found with Grey's Anatomy is it was kind of like the hospital is just kind of the backdrop for whatever's happening between like the main characters, which obviously like
Mm.
that's how a lot of shows work. But it's like the
Yeah,
patients
I
are just
love
kind
that
of
shit.
there.
But yeah,
They're just kind of there, and the hospital's
I
just kind of
agree.
there. And it's just like the premise to then fill it in with all the other shit. Whereas I think the Pit is like it drops you in.
Yeah, it really does. It's amazing. And I thought, like the first episode, I also keep in mind was not in my best cognitive
Yep.
state when I
Yep.
started watching this, but they really drop you in terms of the lingo and the vocab and things as well. So they're like blah, 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 rattling off all of these, acronyms and stuff. And initially you're like, what the fuck are you talking
Yep.
about? But it's actually crazy how quickly you start to pick up on that. So like after
Yep.
a couple of episodes, you're like, oh, okay, asystole, that's what this means. When the heart rate looks like this, like that's what this means. An epi is this, a STEMI is this kind of heart attack. And I was like, oh my
Yep.
God. And that's how I used to feel watching Grey's Anatomy. I was like, I should be a doctor. No, Holly,
Wait,
you
am I
shouldn't be a doctor.
qualified? No,
No,
no.
but like I absolutely shouldn't. I will also say that it has given me such a prolific fear of the US medical system. Absolutely horrifying. Like
Yeah, no.
really horrifying stuff. Um, it's awful. Like I don't know if people know this. I assume they do because I know this. But in Australia, the general kind of like standard of care is they try and get people, I think, through or seen in 4 hours of being in
Yep.
the emergency department. And over there or over here where I am, there are people who they wait for like 12 hours. Like 8 hours is like common, 12 hours. They're in there for so long. And they
Yep.
do such a good job in this show of showing like how feral it is in there. Like,
Yep.
oh my God, it actually makes me want to walk around this city wrapped in fucking bubble wrap so that I
Yeah.
never have to go somewhere like that.
Never have to sit in the ER.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's actually horrifying. And there are so many people in there who don't have health insurance because in the US, you get health insurance through your job
Yep.
mostly. Otherwise, you have to pay for it and it's extortionate. So there are so many people that don't have health care. So they have to go to the ED if they need,
Yeah.
medical attention. And it's horrifying, really horrifying to see.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like crazy different to how it is here. I do
I know.
really
And
want to
like
watch
I
The
knew
Pit.
that theoretically. I knew that theoretically, but even watching this, I was like, oh Jesus, like it really is a completely different ball game. Of course,
Yeah.
because the population is so much higher too.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that I have picked up, I really want to watch The Pit. I know that I'm gonna want to watch like so much of it at once that I was like, I need
Yeah.
like a block of time.
Yeah.
Which I say for like pretty much every show, but this one specifically as well. I think the reason everyone's so gagged over it is because TV's gotten stupider. That's because we're on our phones at the same time. It's like a fact that they write scripts to kind of feed you exposition now. That's how it works. So when
Yeah.
you watch stuff, so you know in the background what's happening because you're not actually concentrating on it. Whereas The Pit makes no assumptions, doesn't baby you at all, and is like, you're fucking coming to the ER for a shift. Let's go. And I
And you
think
better pay
because
attention or you have no idea what's going on.
and I think because it doesn't baby you through it and it just assumes that you'll be able to keep up, people are like, oh shit, this is good TV. And it's like, this is what TV should be like. Like, that's
I
why all the TV
agree.
shows in the 90s and like early 2000s was so, like, everyone's like, they're still so good. Like, they hold up because they're not just like feeding you exposition. You have to pay attention. It's not just like basically slop, which is a lot of what comes out now, that the
I
bar
agree.
is so low.
And I do think that's something that HBO does so well, is that
They
their
always have, yeah.
shows, they always have delivered shows that are like, they don't assume that you're stupid. They assume that
Yep.
you're smart. So they deliver it to you in a format that's like, well, keep up then.
Yeah,
So they're
they're
not probably for everyone, but they're also still so entertaining, of course.
the absolute
Yeah, I
goats
think they
of
also do
prestige
like
TV.
completely agree. Completely agree. I have absolutely loved it. I will also say there's a character in it called Dr. Frank Langdon, who's played by Patrick Ball. And damn girl, Damn, girl, he is hot.
Hot doctor.
There are actually like a lot of gorgeous people in this show, but they do it in a way that's like it's not like Grey's Anatomy, you know? It's not Patrick Dempsey, but there are people who are like,
They're
you are
normal
hot though.
gorgeous. They're
Yeah, I
normal
will say
hot.
Patrick
Where if you
Ball
saw them in the
is
street, you'd be
outrageously
like,
hot.
if like, I love seeing that on TV where it's like these are the kind of people where if you saw them in the street, you'd be like, that's a hot person.
It's straight
But they
hot.
don't look.
Straight hot.
It's street
Not
hot,
Hollywood
and
hot.
they
It's straight
yes,
hot.
and Hollywood hot is a little unsettling, whereas street hot, you're
Yeah.
like you're approachable. Like we could flirt in a bar, and that's a viable thing.
Same kind of vibe as like Paul Mescal. You know? He's straight hot.
He's straight. He's also Irish hot, which is different too.
He's a solid
because
8, which is nice to see on the big screen or a small
he's-
screen. He's an 8.
we love seeing solid 8s on screen.
I do. And I do think that's been
Yeah.
a movement, this weird like counterculture. However, I will say that it's been certainly only amongst men, is that there's this
Yeah.
tribe of young male actors coming through who are like hot adjacent. They're like super hot, obviously. They're gorgeous, but they're not perfect.
They're
And
hot,
I
but
don't
a
think
little
women are
busted.
afforded that luxury. Yes, exactly. Women are not afforded that luxury. So it's something, there's this crew of men who are like gorgeous but straight hot. So it's quite
Yes.
nice to see that. It's a real antithesis to the like
Well, I mean, look at like so
pursuit
example
of
Paul Mescal, like
perfection.
everybody like or even not to bring up Walton Goggins again, but he's been around for ages,
Jesus.
but like he's like men can be like a little bit busted with it, I think. And then for women, like you look at Amy Lou Wood, same show, she had a gap in her teeth and suddenly it was all fucking over. And it's like, no, she has a characteristic of her face that a normal person, everyone's got different stuff. Like I'm sick of everyone looking the same on TV and just looking good
I
all the
know.
time. Like
Well,
that's
with
not
Amy Lou
realistic.
Wood as well on the White Lotus, after or while it was airing and afterwards, every single headline about Amy Lou Wood was like how she embraced the gap in her teeth,
I
why
know.
this quirky characteristic gives her an edge. And she was like, okay, this has gone from being like super flattering to being like, I'm not fucked. Like I don't
Yeah.
look fucked. And also
No.
like, Jesus Christ, my performance was good, not just the fact that I have a gap in my teeth.
Literally, like
Yeah.
anyway.
It's these quirks that give us personality. Anyway, Patrick Ball, Dr. Frank Langdon, hot to me, guys. Really hot
Super
to me.
street hot.
Oh, yeah, love him.
Yeah, I like
okay,
street
over
hot.
to you. No, I'm obsessed with straight hot. Okay, over
Yeah.
to you. What is your next one?
Hot to me, ties. Ties
Yes, completely agree.
as an
Get
accessory.
in there as an accessory, as a fashion piece. Let's go.
Yes. So obviously, if you went to a private school like the both of us did, you wear a tie as part of your winter uniform, typically. Did you? You didn't.
Mhm.
You had something else.
Absolutely, I did every single
you
day,
did.
girl.
Yeah.
Every single day from year 1 to year 12.
Year 1 with a tie is diabolical. Anyway,
Yeah.
I obviously at 17 and at that time, a tie is kind of a lot to be. So you wear it for school uniform and it's school uniform only. Now, I think just in the last year, I've gotten over my private school trauma of having to wear a tie every day. And I'm ready to embrace ties as fashion.
Yes, I'm completely on board. I love a tie. So
Yes.
it's nice
I'm
to see this
gearing
popping up
up
more, I think.
I'm gearing up for a winter of ties, I think. I've got quite a collection going. I would recommend, if you're ever in the market for a tie, go to Vinnie's or Savers first because you won't pay more than like $10 for a tie. I get a lot for $3 to $4. And you can find some pretty snazzy ones there, I'm not going to lie. I have like 8 or 9 now. A lot of them I haven't worn yet, but they're there waiting. And that's
So good.
key for a tie. You have to like just have one and the moment will present itself. So I will say I got over my trauma of wearing ties to school, decided to crack out ties again as fashion. And can I just say, men need to stop being so fucking weird about women wearing ties.
Yeah. Well, I remember being 17 wearing my tie as a school uniform and feeling like so profoundly unfuckable. But I was unfuckable. But I was 17. I was unfuckable because I was a teenager. But
Unfortunately, not to a lot of men.
ew. Ew.
Horrible to
But
think about, but
I know. But I remember being a teenager and wearing them and being like, oh my God, men are going to think this is so fucking weird.
yeah, I was the
And
same.
now I don't care. But you're right. Your experiences since wearing them more often have shown that they will still be weird about it.
Yeah, I mean, even so, good example was the first time I wore a tie since high school, really, was last year. And
Hmm.
I remember it vividly because I wore
Oh,
it on a
yeah.
date. I was wearing like a tie with like a short sleeved collared button up and like a mini skirt and like little loafers. So, like,
So
cute.
cute. I will say ballsy to bust it out for a date is the first time
Look,
too.
go big or go home
I completely
is
agree. And
my
you looked great.
philosophy. And so I was at the bar with the guy and we were having a drink or whatever. And then the table next to us, these guys all go, I like this schoolgirl outfit that you've got on. And like, I'm pretty sure they were like flaming elder Jays, like so homosexual. But they were just like, this schoolgirl look, it's so fun. And I was like, that isn't the compliment that you maybe think that is. Now I feel weird. And then
I
they
completely agree.
said something about it a couple more times and I was like, cool, I'm deeply uncomfortable now. And then I was walking home after the date through King's Cross. And first of all, this was just the weirdest experience. You know, sometimes you walk through King's Cross and it's totally fine. And
It's
sometimes you
King's
walk through
Crossing.
King's Cross and it's really King's Crossing.
It's
Like it's
King's Crossing.
witching hour. There's fucking gremlins abound. And this was one of those times. And I was walking through King's Cross back from the bar to my house. And this guy on the street who was one of the like famous King's Cross homeless people, bless
Local
up,
icon.
local icons. But I had my headphones in and I was on FaceTime with my friend for a date debrief. And there was no second date for anyone wondering, just so you know.
Yeah, I can't remember which date this was. Can you give me a clue?
He was like a kind of surfer kind of guy and he was a carpenter. It was super
Oh yeah.
missed. Yeah.
I can't remember. Where did you, was this Tio's?
Waratah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Locked
Yeah.
in.
Locked in. And so I was walking through King's Cross and this guy on the street yelled out and was like, you're a little old to still be in school, aren't you? And I was like, for
Oh,
fuck's sake. Like
Jesus.
twice in one night
God,
from two separate men on the first time I have been brave enough to wear a tie.
that is horrifying stuff.
The punchline to that story is that he said that. I didn't hear him properly. I took my headphones out and was like, what? And this lady that was walking next to me like had a go at him. And I was like, what did he say? And she told me and she was like, don't worry, he's just being an idiot. And then she like said something to him that was
Love
like, leave her
her.
alone. Yeah. And then she
Love
walked off.
her.
Yeah, but then she walked off and she's got like a hoodie on and across the back it says Trump and she's carrying a tote bag with Trump's face on it.
Not the MAGA supporter coming to your rescue in King's
Yeah.
Cross.
I was like, why was I just saved by
A
like,
Republican.
yeah, a hardcore Trump supporter? What?
Which is also crazy because it's an Australian Trump supporter, which is like, this
Yeah.
doesn't concern you.
I was like, thank you, Queen, but also, what?
Yeah, but also don't call her queen.
Yeah. Queen
I will say,
derogatory.
I had a similar experience when I wore a tie to work last year. One of the security guards, whose name is Bashir,
Shout out Bashir.
shout out Bashir if you're listening to this. I came in and he went, off to school, are you? And I was like, no,
Nah.
Bashir, I'm just going to my desk. And I was like, ha ha. And he was like, could have fooled me. And I was like, perfect. I'll
No,
just be
Bashir.
upstairs now then. Yes.
I'm going
I
to my
also-
adult job as an adult.
Yes. And you know this, Bashir, because I've worked here for 6 years.
I see you pretty much every day,
single
Bashir.
day. Yeah. I also went to a pub in Paddington with my friend Nadia after work that day. And I did feel a little weird surrounded by the Paddington Finance Bros who were wearing the same outfit as me. But that's okay.
How do you think I feel
That's
every time I leave
okay.
the house? I'm always
Yeah, I
dressed like a
know.
dude.
Yeah.
Um, there is something like I do feel so cunty in a tie though. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's you feel like a guy and suddenly you're like, oh wait, I have all this ego and confidence that you have all the
yeah,
time.
suddenly I have in like the least psychotic way possible, Patrick Bateman like spirit
Absolutely. I
overcomes
agree.
me.
Oh yeah. Suddenly I'm confident. I'm gonna kick
Yes.
a door down.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna tell you what I think about some stuff.
at the same time, say a single word about this tie and I might burst into tears in front of you. So
Absolutely.
yeah, men basically need to get less weird about women wearing ties because they look sick. Every woman that's ever worn a tie looks fucking like so chic and cool.
Hmm. I agree. Also, when I wore one time last year, the amount of messages I got from people on Instagram when I
Yes.
posted a photo from my friends being like, "This is sick." I was like, "Yes,
And
yes,
it's
it is. Thank
I
you."
think we should all be embracing ties because they're a pretty low stakes, big impact accessory.
I agree. My ties, I got them both from a market in Japan. So
Mhm.
vintage thrifting markets and things are also a really good spot to get them from. And mine
Yes,
looks
yeah.
like an
You'll find
old,
like
it looks like an old Ralph Lauren or even like a kind of like a school tie. It has like a crest on it, but in like a less
yeah.
embarrassing way. Yeah.
That one's that one's cool. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I love that
don't
one.
buy new ties. There's so many secondhand ties like floating around. You basically never need to buy a new one.
I
Um,
agree.
so I thought we could maybe just touch on how one would style a tie for those who are tie curious, perhaps. So famously, I usually go with a button up as the base. I just think you
Hmm.
can't go wrong with a tie and a button up. They're obviously made for each other. But I do think it's fun to go full suit as a woman, oversized
Yes,
suit.
I agree.
Tailored also, but I think oversized suit looks so cool with like a button up and a tie. But
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like a mini skirt loafer tie button up.
I think that's very cute too. The way I usually style it is with my wide leg jeans with a button up and
Yes.
then a tie.
Yeah.
You like a short sleeve button up? I always do long sleeves, but I usually roll them up so they're like just below the elbow. And then
Yeah.
I, yeah, wear the tie with that. But it looks, you can also put a blazer on over the top if you want, or it looks cool just with the jeans and the tie and the shirt.
Yeah. I definitely think I do have short sleeve button ups, but I do think the long sleeve is like the way to go for sure. I love like a blue long sleeve,
Yes,
like
that's
a
my
classic,
favorite as well.
like businessy, like corporate blue, basically. Um,
Yeah.
whether it's got like white cuffs and collar or whatever, but the blue just seems to go with like pretty much all colors of tie, like your navies, your dark reds,
Hmm.
your golds, like goldy kind of colors woven in. Um, I've got one that's like light blue, burgundy, and yellow that looks awesome with a blue button up.
Love that one.
So like once you got your tie, kind of find your combos. I mean, obviously a white button up also works, but I find the white ones do a little bit give me school vibes still,
Yeah, I feel
depending on
like I'm in
how
the
they're
Book of
worn.
Mormon when I do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially if I wear a short sleeve, uh, button up and a tie, I do feel like a
Oh
Mormon. So I
yeah.
don't
I'm
do
like,
that super
hello.
often. Yeah. Hello.
My name is Elder Price.
Ding dong.
Yeah. Um, I also like for further styling options. I wore this to work one time last year, and all my friends at work were like, this is such a you way of doing a tie, which is using a tie, but then I use the tie to tie a bow rather than like a traditional
Yeah.
Windsor. And I think that's cool because it does bring something a little different to it, but you can still use the tie as a feature, but it's not in like the traditional way, which is
Yeah.
cool.
When you did that, I was like, that is so cute, the little like pussy bow version of the
Yeah.
tie. However,
Hmm.
we're going back into the law here. I used to in my journey of finding my current style, in like year 10, you're waiting for whatever I'm going to say next. She doesn't know.
Okay. I just thought of
Aside,
something else, which maybe I'll bring that up later.
you were going to mention
But
the
yes,
waistcoats, which
of
aside from the
course.
waistcoats, which were a brief period that I would never hear the end of, I also did a lot of like vintage shopping, but I would pick up those like older, like 80s kind of blouses that had like pussy bow kind of on them, which look at how I dress now, you'd be like, what?
You wouldn't read about it.
You wouldn't read about it. And I have learned the hard way that if you have big boobs, a pussy bow, not for you, not your friend.
No, it looks somehow very 80s and not in a good way.
Yes. It's
Quite matronly, which is a
I was
shame.
about to say it's matronly.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And when you're 15 and looking matronly, it's certainly an issue. So I can't fuck with a pussy bow. But that's actually fine for me. I've learned that. I've moved on. And that's why we evolve our fashion as we go, because you have to try things to know they don't work.
You have to fumble your fashion to find your style in the end.
As I've said to
boy,
people
have
who
we
are like,
both fumbled.
and people who are like, how, like, oh, you know, dress really fun, like kind of bold, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how hard you have to flop to be able to slay.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've had so many flops. My last thing about ties that I would like to include is that now that I've kind of gotten comfortable with your regular tie, your standard, I am intrigued to get a little weird with the ties. And speak on it. And hair in fashion is having a real moment. Not hairstyles, literal hair as part of clothing.
Oh, yes.
Wearable hair.
I loved this.
Is really kind of having a moment at the moment.
What runway was that?
There was a couple, but the most notable is Schiaparelli has incorporated it pretty
so cool
frequently recently. And they've made a tie that is a braid of hair that you like tie up and like braid it down. And I've seen people remake it with like extension, like ponytail extensions, and like wrap it around and braid it themselves. And I think that is so cool.
Yeah, I loved that runway. I thought it looked great. And then there was some celebrity who wore that on some red carpet afterwards, and it looked amazing as well. I loved it.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Ties.
Can't wait to see you level that up.
Holly, what's your final hot?
My final hot is Artemis II, which happened, well, when you're listening to this, it'll be maybe 4 days ago. But the Artemis II mission performed its much anticipated lunar flyby, came just 4,067 miles of the moon, which is the furthest humans have ever gone into space. Are you across this?
I actually am not.
Okay.
It's just completely passed me by.
My algorithm has completely switched to like American Instagram now, which is, I think, partially why it's frying my brain in a manner that it didn't before. But the moon landing, huge over here, or not landing, the flyby, it was huge over here, especially because it was an American-Canadian mission. So it was led by NASA, of course, which is nice. It's nice to see real astronauts doing the space stuff rather than the gorgeous Elon or Bezos.
The gorgeous Katy Perry.
And Gail.
Never forget. Never forget.
So crazy. Which I saw this video yesterday as part of my massive doom scroll. Is this woman was like, I didn't realize that like we weren't going to the moon all the time. And I thought about it and I was like, I think I did know that. But do you know that the last time someone walked on the moon was in 1972?
I didn't know it was that long ago. I certainly knew that we didn't really go like boots on ground very often.
We don't go boots on ground that often, but I don't even think we go out there that much because the bloody, what's it called, is doing that. The satellites and stuff are out there.
Yeah, we don't need people out there really.
No, like I think people go to the International Space Station. Again, I'm so sorry for anyone who's super across this because I'm obviously not. But people go to that one, but they're not going to the moon that often. This is the furthest the humans have ever been into space. And it's also the first woman who has ever been into space, I believe. The
Because they
furthest
went
a
around
woman
the
has
moon,
ever
right?
been. Yes. So they did this crazy thing where, again, I obviously have not done enough research on this, but they didn't have like like they did the turn in a really weird way. So they went all the way around and back again. And apparently, if they didn't have a proper turning circle thing, so if they missed it by even a millimeter, oh yeah, they're using gravity to turn. So if they missed it by even a millimeter, they would have just like flown off into space, which I like to think they would have had some sort of emergency situation there. But I know I was like, the videos are
Some extra
crazy of the,
boosters, maybe.
I know the like orbit was really crazy, but it was amazing. Women weren't even allowed in the NASA program until 1978. So this was like actually,
Classic.
it was really major for
Mm.
really major thing. But there's this beautiful video, and this is what really got me, and that like has got everyone on American Instagram losing their mind, is that they've obviously discovered a bunch of new things out there. They took 10,000 photos of Earth from out there, but on the moon they identified two major like discoveries,
Oh, I
craters.
saw the video about this.
Yeah,
This is as like much
so
information as I got on it,
beautiful.
but oh,
Yeah, they named one of them Integrity, which is the name of their spaceship, and then the other
yeah.
one they called it Carol. And the thing behind that is that crew member Jeremy Hansen, he was like radioing in back to NASA HQ or whatever. And it's usually protocol that you name new things after like deceased astronauts or anything.
Mhm.
But he asked to call it Carol after fellow astronaut and commander of the ship, Reed Wiseman's wife, Carol, who passed away 6 years ago from a 5-year battle with cancer. And it was just like the most beautiful video. I like
It was
Reed
so
Wiseman didn't
yeah.
expect it. And he was just talking and he started crying, and then they were all crying, and then they all did this big zero gravity hug.
It was
And
so cute.
it was really beautiful. And just like I know the whole thing, obviously everything to do with space exploration, and NASA is so scientific and so numbers oriented.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was beautiful because like you can send machines into space to report on this stuff, but they sent people up there because they wanted them to describe what they were seeing,
Yeah.
because machines can't do that in the same way as humans. I'm sure there are other reasons why they sent them, of course, but it was just like, I don't know, such a human thing, such a human experience of like seeing world from above and finding the words to describe the planet and the moon and just like this really human perspective. I thought it was so beautiful. I cried. It made me cry watching this video. And
Yeah.
I just thought it was gorgeous. And this guy, his wife Carol passed away, and 1 month before that, his mother also passed away. And he has
Oh my
two
God.
daughters, and so he's a single dad. And he stepped back and looked after his like wife while she was going through treatment,
Yeah.
and then he went back to the NASA program after that. But has raised these two little girls, and I just was like, it's so beautiful. I went down a real wormhole. So if anyone needs a good news story, which I think we probably all do, at the
Yeah.
moment, it was really gorgeous and like made me weepy. And I love a weep, but like it touched me. It was gorgeous. And look at the photos, watch the video, you'll love it.
We have all these, I mean, with everything that's going on and it's kind of grim out there, and we have so much that's like been moved over to being, computer generated or monitored or
Hmm.
whatever. It's like at the end of the day, we're humans.
Yes. And one of the men out there, so I will also say that NASA astronauts were Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen. And Victor Glover was giving some sort of like saying a few words up there. And he just like his perspective on the whole thing, he was like, wow, like we have such a beautiful little oasis here in the
Yeah.
universe and in space, which is just like, endless nothingness. He's like, we have such a gift to be on this like perfect planet for us. And so it's like, a
And
nice reminder, I think, not to waste that.
the video that I watched, I don't know if it's the same one that you watched. It was by Reb Maisel, who's like pretty big influencer. She's a lawyer online, but
Mm,
she made this video about it, and it was the images of the Earth
yeah.
that they took, and she's like, everyone who's ever existed is in this photo. You're in
It's
this photo. Everyone you
crazy.
love is in this photo. Everyone you've ever known is in this photo. Everyone you ever will know is in this photo. And we're all just here on this planet.
On this little speck by pure luck and
Yeah. And
science.
it's just, and you just watch it and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
Yeah. And
That Victor
yeah.
Glover guy as well, he was talking about like, he's like, the Bible and like God and stuff. And I was like, wow, it's really crazy that you're literally a NASA scientist and an
Yeah.
astronaut and you still think that way. Maybe that's just Americans, but I don't know. Maybe he's got perspective that we don't have because he's been to space and I'm just orbiting in my bedroom.
And the only person he can really talk to about it is Katy Perry.
Is Katy Perry and Jesus. Yeah.
For that unique perspective on space is Katy Perry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And probably Justin Trudeau, her boo, which is still the fucking weirdest relationship.
Anyway,
Yeah.
on that note, that was beautiful. A good news story to finish out the hots. And now we'll move into our final bit. Holly, would you like to take it away?
And for what? Please, for what?
Yes, welcome to And For What? This is our dating segment where we dive into all sorts of relationship questions and quandaries and give advice with absolutely no authority to do so. So today we have a voice note that I will play. Should I play
Our
that
first
right
voice
now?
note.
Hang on, I'm just going to start it from the beginning now. Okay.
The dilemma is if you're on Hinge and you've recently just altered your appearance in a truly horrific way where your only options are buying a huge sombrero to hide your face or faking your own death by driving down to the ocean with a scuba trunk in the boot. What do you do? How quickly do you have to update the Hinge profile with images of this new look? If you've arranged dates with people who have matched with you going off your prior appearance, do you have to forewarn them about like what they're going to be rocking up and walking into? Or do you say nothing and pretend no change has taken place and just hope that you aren't as hideous as you think you are? That's my dilemma, Holly.
Okay. A couple of follow-up questions on that one.
Hit me, because I know the
How-
background to this as well.
Yes. How permanent is the appearance change?
It's a hair dye situation. So it's not super permanent,
A hair.
but she also won't be going back to the hair dye that the color that it was before.
Okay. Sounds like she doesn't love
Mhm.
said hair dye. Yep. The hair dye job.
It certainly was a hue she did not particularly want. It doesn't look awful
Yep.
at all. Let's just say that. I don't
Yep.
think it looks bad, but it's not the
Yep.
color she wanted.
Yeah. Okay. I think in terms of if we're talking hair, I
Mhm.
think you don't necessarily have to update that super quickly or warn people because people change their hair all the time. Like
Yep.
hair is one of the more transient things that people change. I was saying if you had like a botched nose job or something, I'd maybe bring that up. Like before you meet in
Yeah.
person, just be like, oh, by the way, I had a surgery that went fucking sideways.
Oh my God. I don't know if I could because then I feel like they'd pull out of the date.
Well, that's on them for being a shallow piece of shit. But I know what she's talking about in terms of like, it's not kind of as advertised, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
with hair, it's so transient that it doesn't matter so much because people change their hair all the time. I change my hair all the time. And
Yeah.
a lot of my photos are actually from when I was still blonde. Not
Mm.
that I've used Hinge in a while, but I think as you collect new photos, you should definitely
You've
try
got to
and keep them
update.
up to date, regardless of if you've had any changes or not. I think it's important to keep the Hinge photos within the last 6 to 12 months max,
Yeah,
and keep it moving.
I
And then
agree.
they'll slowly filter in. So I don't think you have to worry about being like, I've dyed my hair and now I have to overhaul my entire profile, because it's like you're better off collecting photos naturally and not forcing it,
Mm.
and just sort of add them in slowly, one or two at a time,
Yeah.
and people will see that you've got different hair at different stages of your life. And I don't think that's a huge issue. If it was like you had long hair and then suddenly you shaved your head, like
See, this is what I was going to ask. What if it's like quite a significant change? For
I think
example, I had very long hair, which was ratty as hell, and then I cut it into a bob. That was a pretty significant change.
for the better, to be
Oh,
clear.
no, like it was categorically for the better. My friend Esther the other day, when I
Maybe one
saw
of the
her
best
here,
things you've ever done.
I would say maybe the best thing I've ever
Yeah.
done. She was
Yeah.
like, I just feel like your life began when you cut your bob. And I was like, completely
Yeah.
agree.
The second
My
half of
friend
your life
Ruby as
started.
well.
Yeah.
My friend Ruby was like, it was a major moment in the Australian media industry when Holly cut a bob. And I was like, and it actually was
Yeah. And few
such a
people know
significant vibe shift.
the backstory behind the bob, which was that it happened very late at night in a slightly manic episode and got cleaned up the next day. But the end result speaks for itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a hinge date bailed on me.
Yeah. I did
In
get
a
live
move that wasn't
update.
entirely unexpected, but he did bail on me.
And sometimes it's
And
at a
then
crucial time that it will send you off the deep end momentarily.
yeah, and I went for a 2 hour drive around Sydney, covered so many suburbs, and then I came home and cut a bob in at 11 p.m. and it was pretty long and pretty bad, like a
Yeah.
longish bob. It was a
Yeah.
bob, and then I went to the hairdressers and got them to do it properly the next day, and it all turned out fine. All that to
Yes.
say, when I cut a bob in, I remember I like I was like I look different now to how I looked in my photo. So I tried to
Yes.
update it like kind of quickly, but it's hard, like
Yes.
you said, because you don't want to force yourself to take photos and upload like
Yeah.
weird, just like
Especially if you're like maybe a little
straight
self.
down
Oh
the barrel
no,
selfies.
no, those are.
Mm-mm.
I call those the skin suit photos, because like this is especially prevalent in men. They'll look down the barrel of the lens for a
Right
selfie.
down,
Yeah,
right
just
down.
like staring through you.
Yeah,
And I say they always look like they're going to wear my skin as a suit. So I call
like
them the
Buffalo
skin suits.
Bill
Yeah, like
in
they are going to
fucking
skin
Silence of
me.
the Lambs. Yeah,
Yeah. So don't do those for sure. But I do think drastic change, even if it's just hair, I think you've got a bit of leeway here. I don't think it needs to be immediate. I think if you're maybe meeting up with someone, you could always just work it in as like if you're looking for me when you get there, like, by the way, I have brown hair now, or I have
yeah,
really
I
short hair
agree.
now, or something, like, so that they know what they're looking for. And it's like a little bit of a heads up, but it's not in like a big deal way where it's like, you know, I look entirely different to what I've said I do, by the
Yeah.
way.
I think it's almost a fun icebreaker though when you get there. You're like,
Mm,
by the way, I just dyed my hair or I just cut my hair.
yeah.
Sorry if it was false advertising, you know?
Yeah. And I've lived that, because I didn't cut a bob, but I did go from my natural, quite dark brown hair color to
Mm,
entirely pink in one go a few years ago. And then I went on a date straight after that, um,
nice.
which I already knew the guy, but I did message him and was like, just so you know, it is like pretty aggressively pink now. He already knew I was going to do it, but I was like, I'm coming from the
Yeah.
hairdresser. And I was like, I need you to be so nice to me about this.
The fact that you went from the hairdresser straight on the date was ballsy.
I went home for a little bit and then went out, but it was like, you know, when you first get a scalp bleach done
Oh,
and it still
yeah.
looks a bit like a wig,
Well, I
because it
don't
hasn't,
because I haven't done that, but yes.
and it still looks a bit like a wig because you haven't had the time for it to just grow that crucial couple of millimeters to give it some like, this is real hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
It's
was like,
great if it looks good, and it did look good, the pink, but I more just mean like imagine if the hairdresser fucked your hair up and then you had to
I
go
would've cancelled.
straight onto a date. Oh, yeah,
Nah.
cool.
I already knew him, so I could have been like, it got fucked. Like,
Emergency situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know him super well, but I knew him well enough that I like when I messaged him, I was like, you have to be so nice to me about this. And he did think I was like, he was scared. He told me afterwards that because I was like semi joking, like, like just dyed my hair
Yeah.
pink, be so nice to me. And he was like, I thought you were like really serious and like really sensitive about it. I was like, oh no, I
No,
was just kind of kidding as per usual.
as
But
per
anyway.
usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
think try to get a new pick in there. The hair color, not that egregious, but you can
yeah.
use it as a like heads up en route or when you first get there as an icebreaker is our
Yes.
recommendation.
And the overall recommendation is keep your hinge pretty recent, guys. Keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get too attached to old photos. You don't look like that now.
Exactly.
Sorry,
And that's
but
coming straight from the
that's the
CEO of the
truth.
Beige Flag.
Exactly. If there's one thing I know, it's curating a perfect hinge profile. It's obviously served
And
me super
Instagram
well.
dump.
And Instagram dump, more importantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the end of
All
our
right,
show.
I think that's all we've got. Yeah, I think that's all we've got time for today.
That's the end of our show. If you have a dating query, obviously send it in. And voice note, message, however you want to get it to us, totally fine. We can also keep it anonymous if you would like, unless you want the clout or to throw someone under the bus. We love that too. Messy.
Always
Our DMs
welcome,
are open.
of course.
Yeah. Our DMs are open at Hot to Me Pod, which of course you should also follow on Instagram and on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. We're all over the place, but Instagram is where the magic mostly happens. As you've probably realized, we spend a lot of time on that app. So
we sure do. In terms of listening to the pod, Spotify is probably your best bet because then you'll get both the visual and the audio experience. However, you can find us on literally every platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify. What are the other ones again?
YouTube, crucially.
YouTube, and what's the hit radio or Amazon or something?
iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, we're everywhere.
Perfect. Thank you, Caito.
Yep. I run the admin.
Yeah.
Please get in touch. Come talk to us. Like, send us messages. Hang out. We like it. It's fun.
Absolutely. And if you have something that you would like us to cover on Hot to Me, please also send that over. We are absolutely willing to consider it.
Yes, always. Well, we'll see you all next episode. And in the meantime, stay hot.
Bye. Stay hot. Bye.